The Stolen Peach is a story from Strange Stories from a Chinese studio, also known as Liaozhai Studio. Among the most famous illusion stories in Liaozhai, two are related to fruits, planting pears and stealing peaches. Pu Songling drew inspiration from his childhood memories of witnessing intriguing magic tricks and used them to create this story. A man performs an ancient spell that allows a child to steal celestial peaches from the heavens. Whether this has any connection to the White Lotus Sect is unknown. But focusing on the story itself, it truly showcases Pu Songling's masterful storytelling. In my childhood, I once went to Jinan Prefecture to take an exam and happened to be there during the Spring Festival. Following the old customs, the day before the Spring Festival, various businesses in the city paraded colorful floats, making their way to the magistrate's office to offer New Year's blessings. This was known as the Spring Parade. I joined friends to witness the spectacle. On that day, there were many visitors, and the streets were packed like walls with no room to move. In the main hall, 4 officials sat wearing red robes, facing each other in pairs. Being young at the time, I didn't understand the officials' ranks. All I could hear was the clamor of voices, accompanied by loud drums and music, which nearly deafened me. Suddenly, a man led a disheveled child carrying a load onto the stage. It seemed he said something, but the noise was so loud that I couldn't hear his words. However, everyone on the stage burst into laughter. Following this, a bailiff dressed in black went down to convey a message, instructing them to perform. The man agreed, but then asked, "What kind of magic should I perform?" After a brief discussion among the officials, a bailiff walked down from the stage and inquired about his specialty. The man replied, "I can reverse the seasons of living beings and grow various things." After reporting this to the officials, the bailiff returned and asked him to perform a trick involving stealing peaches. The performer nodded and took off his clothes, covering a bamboo box. He deliberately put on a look of complaint and said, "The officials truly don't understand reason. It's still icy out there. How can I get peaches? If I refuse, I'm afraid I'll anger the officials. What should I do?" His son said, "Father already agreed. How can you back out now?" The performer struggled for a while and said, "I've seriously considered it. It's still early spring, and the ice and snow haven't melted on Earth. Where can I find peaches? Only in the Queen Mother of the West Peach Orchard in heaven, where it's spring all year round, might there be peaches. However, I need to steal them from the heavens to obtain them." His son said, "Ha, can we walk up to heaven like climbing stairs?" The performer replied, "I have my ways." With that, he opened the bamboo box and took out a ball of rope, about several dozen feet long. He formed a loop with one end of the rope, tossed it into the air, and the rope hung there, as if something were pulling it. The rope kept rising, seemingly pulled upward, gradually disappearing into the clouds until it reached the sky. The rope ran out, and then he called his son over, saying, "Child, I'm old and tired, clumsy, and can't go up. Would you go for me?" He handed the looped end of the rope to his son and said, "Hold on to this rope, and you'll be able to go up." His son took the rope, his face showing a troubled expression. He complained, "Father, you're truly confused. You want me to climb thousands of feet using this thin rope? What if the rope breaks halfway, and I fall to my death?" Father coaxed him with a serious tone, "I've already agreed to people. It's too late for regrets now. Please trouble yourself to make the journey. Don't be afraid of hardship. If you manage to steal the peaches, you'll surely receive a reward of 100 taels of silver. By then, I'll find you a beautiful wife." The son reluctantly grabbed the rope and began climbing, moving his hands and feet upward, like a spider ascending a web, slowly disappearing into the clouds. After a while, a peach fell from the sky, about the size of a bowl. The performer was overjoyed, holding the peach in both hands and presenting it to the officials. The officials stared at it for a long time, unsure if it was real or fake. At that moment, the rope suddenly fell from the sky. In panic, the performer shouted, "Oh no! Someone in the heavens cut the rope. How will my son come down?" After a while, something else fell from the sky. Upon closer inspection, it turned out to be his son's head. Holding his son's head, he cried, "During the peach theft, someone must have discovered him. My son is done for." As he wept bitterly, another body part fell from the sky, followed by limbs and the torso. The performer was heartbroken, carefully picking up each piece and placing them back into the box. He then closed the box and said, "This old man only had this one son, who followed me far and wide. Today, following the strict orders of the officials, I didn't expect such a tragic mishap. I can only take him back for burial." He walked to the main hall, knelt down, and begged, "In order to steal peaches, my son has been killed. Gentlemen, please have pity on this insignificant man and grant me some money. This way, I can properly bury my son's remains. Even in death, I will repay your kindness, esteemed officials." The officials were shocked and generously offered him silver coins. He accepted the money and tied it around his waist. Walking down from the stage, he patted the box and called out, "Buh, buh. If you don't quickly come out to thank the officials for their reward, when will you wait?" Suddenly, a disheveled child opened the box cover with his head and walked out of the box, bowing to the officials. Upon closer look, it was his son. Because this magic trick was performed so remarkably, I still remember it vividly to this day. Later, I heard people say that the White Lotus Sect could perform this trick. I imagine they must be their descendants.
Alright, this story has come to an end. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you.